Greetings gamers! Call of Duty just recently had their beta and I'm going to go through and review it. I'm basically going to go through, talk about things that I found that were issues, what I liked, what I didn't like. Basically it's going to be a couple minute review. I know it's the beta and yes, I do realise that it is subject to change when the game comes out. But obviously at the moment all I can talk about is the beta, so let's just go through and we'll talk about that. So the first thing we're going to talk about, guys, is gameplay, graphics and audio. Graphics was very, very impressive, but there's an asterisk. We'll get to that in a sec. I found that the graphics, the buildings, the wall running and everything like that for the gameplay, the audio files, like the chickens, the sound effects, the games, everything was great. I did not have a problem with any of that. I did, however, have an issue with the fact that the game would actually seemingly drop frame rates and pretty full on. So that kind of sucked a little bit. Now, obviously, during this, I was a complete noob when it came to Call of Duty. I've hardly played Call of Duty. I had access to the beta. I was giving away codes, so I thought I'd play it. So yeah, obviously, if I do suck at this game, please don't crucify me. I'm completely new at this. Except that I played Advanced Warfare for like campaign and that was it. So yeah, but guys, yeah, basically as I said, the wall running and everything was fine. My biggest problem I did have was the frame rate drops, and it wasn't just me that had it. It did seem to happen more when we were in a group. So when there was a group of us trying to play, that did seem to cause it more, however. And it did get pretty bad full on. It was earlier on in the game, the beta, I did notice that it was doing it a lot more. But yeah, like I say, it was pretty full on. It was pretty harsh. Almost made it impossible to play. You just literally had to go and sit in a corner for a minute or so, wait for the frame rate to come back up, and then run back and go back into the game and hope you didn't die in the process. Apart from that, guys, obviously the wall running and everything was fine, and everything was great. Joining players, like for example when you've got friends and stuff like that, I did find that itself was very, very iffy. There were times when like I'd try and join Decimator, my mate, who's actually in the game with us in here, I believe. If I couldn't join him, he tried to join me. Once we sat around for about half an hour trying to get 3 people into a group. There was me, Kilmore, Decimator. We're trying to all get into a group. It ended up finally working. It was a nightmare. Hopefully that is something that they will fix when it comes to the full game. The party and the joining system does need a bit of an overhaul, or a fix, or a bug release, something, because it is pretty bad. Another thing that I've just realised watching this gameplay was balancing of teams. This was pretty bad as well, especially later in the beta. There were a lot of times where it was, for example, me and Decimator up against a team of, or a group of 5. So it was like literally 2 on 5. This happened a fair bit on the last day of the beta. Now sometimes obviously we could hold our own. Sometimes we just got absolutely slaughtered. So that was something that really did suck. The guys that we were playing once ran around in a group of 4, and it didn't matter how many of them you killed, the other ones would have just wiped you out anyway. So that kind of did suck. They do need to work on team balancing, because at the end of the day, I'm not sure if these guys were all in the group and that was what it was causing it. But there was a real big issue of like 5 on 2, 6 on 2, 6 on 3, for example. And it just really did suck trying to play against a whole group like that. Yeah, you could have quit and backed out, but yeah, what's the point in doing that all the time? And it did happen a lot on the last day. So I got no idea exactly what caused it. Apart from that, guys, obviously the progression with the character, there were 3 different characters. There's the rifleman, there's the mech, and there's the third one, which I can't remember at the moment. I didn't play much of the third one. The mech I played a little bit of. I mostly stuck to the rifleman. That was what I thought was, well, my favourite. I like the weapons, the upgrades, and everything like that come with your weapons. They were all pretty cool. I did find a lot of the weapons were unbalanced. There were a lot of times where I would shoot someone like with a clip, and then he would shoot me twice, and I would die. And you just sort of sitting there scratching your head, going, "How did I lose?" It wasn't just me that was finding that either. There was, like, for example, Decimator. He was also finding it as well. It was just, yeah, you're just sitting there scratching your head going, how did I lose that gunfight? So hopefully they'll go through and they'll do something with the balancing. And it wasn't just us that noticed it either. There was other guys that jumped into my party. One of them, Rise, I jumped in and admitted, yeah, the balancing is a little bit out. So yeah, hopefully they'll fix that with the full release. Apart from that, the supers, the power-ups and everything like that is all great. Everything was fantastic. I love the UAV, that was cool. I love the Scarab, that was sweet. I did think that the other two, like the strike, the airstrike was cool. But I did find that the last one, I forget what they were calling it, it was a little bit OP. The only way you could really seemingly take it out was with a rocket launcher. And that thing just absolutely wrecked. But, you know, hey, it's a power-up, so you got to expect that. That was the one where the ship was in the orbit and it was just basically shooting everything. But obviously, if you stayed undercover, that was fine. It avoided that. Apart from that, guys, like I said, sound effects, I love the sound. I love the mechanical chickens in the barn in the previous map. The maps, they were good. There was a handful of maps. There was like 2 or 3 maps. That was pretty cool. And like I say, yeah, I love the whole, obviously the packs, the drops, the loot drops and stuff. That was obviously very, very cool. I can obviously see where it obviously will get very expensive if you go buying these packs, unless you're T Martin or something like that. But like I say, yeah, obviously, as long as you don't go spending a fortune, obviously your guns. Now, I never got a legendary gun. All I got was just like skins and stuff, and I opened about 3 of them, so there was that. The claw I found was really, really cool on the rifleman. I love that. But yeah, generally I had a really good time with it, guys. It was better than Battlefield, the beta. I still like Titanfall a little bit better than the Call of Duty. Just with, obviously, it was more fast paced. I did think that the running and the moving around and stuff, it was a little bit slow for my liking. I'm used to that sort of fast action pace of Titanfall. But yeah, obviously, apart from that, and hopefully they'll fix the frame rate drop, because that was the only real issue, or that and the balancing. I also did find it was a lot easier to get flanked in this as well. There were a lot of corners, a lot of open corridors. That would basically, and people weren't showing up on radar and stuff like that. Like that guy there, for example, it was nowhere on my radar as far as I know. So, you know, like I say, hopefully there's just small bugs that will obviously get fixed with the full game. Now, look, apart from that, guys, like I said, I had a generally good time playing it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did you have a good time playing the beta, or did it sort of put you off playing or buying it? Let me know what your thoughts are. Obviously, I've still got it pre-ordered, so I will be playing it. Whether or not I keep it as a more than a week thing, or if I take it back, yet to be determined. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like on it. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. And to anybody who I have absolutely ruined your Call of Duty childhood because I suck so bad, I apologise. I'm a noob, and that's my excuse. Apart from that, gamers, have a great night and enjoy.